Hello Infernoble friends, welcome to this final video about the match that I had on my YCQ. I know that we still have to go around 6, 7, 8, but this is all in this video. Why? Because round 6 we 2-0 a runic stun player and the match was super long and grindy and I don't wanna recall that, like it was really hard for me to recall, so all I can remember is that we went second both games. In one he ended on the fountain, Messenger of Peace, the card that says pay 100, survive forever. Yeah, because we cannot attack with 15 or higher monsters. Rivalry, which was dead against us. Not completely because we had Witch, but then dead in just generic back row. And we grinded back and forth and we won. And then game 2, he also went first. He started with 1 Day of Peace. And then just running standard running stuff, but no skill run, I believe. And then we just grinded, and in turn number 4 I think we managed to OTK. So yeah, I don't remember how it happened exactly, so I cannot make a replay. I am only telling you what I remember about the match. Okay, but then round 7, which was way more interesting because we are facing the champion of the event. That's right, the guy that won with Spright. And he wins the dice roll, and let's begin with the duel. So we open just one hand drop, and I think also it's kind of powerful against Spright. Of course, depending how they sequence their plays, but the rest of our engine, it's kind of bad because we only have level 1 access, okay? So he started with swap. We could ogre that, but he's just getting another body because he's milling, he's searching. So at this point, we are pretty much screwed because he has the setup for the early totally awesome. Like, all he needs is one more extender. So it doesn't matter if we hit with Ghost Ogre here, because he has then the way to revive and then any Sprite extender into combo. Yeah, we could also hit the barrier, but that's the same. Like, we cannot prevent him from having at least one body on board right now. So all we can kind of hope is that he doesn't have extenders, and that way right now he's about like he could make like a gigantic and then we over the gigantic. Like that's the best we could do, I think. But he had extenders, so he made it totally, and now he just keep going, and yeah, he can just totally my Ghost Ogre and he can still get, you know how this goes. The blue into the jet, into the sprint, milling the fishes, the angler, getting 2 more bodies, getting the gigantic, and then he's gonna exit the Melfi engine for the Herald of Arclight, and he's searching the trap, double cross, and it's too much, and our hand is weak. So we just scoop around here maybe. I don't remember exactly, but the thing is we scoop because he uses the Torali to protect himself from the ogre. So now game 2, and that was a really quick game 1. I think this was almost my second fastest match of all my matches. And now in game 2, wait, this is not a hand. Okay, so this is the hand. We started with Rhoda searching the upper cutter, just to give you the context. And our hand is broken, like just full of gas extenders. He thinks a little bit on the activation of Rhoda, so we are expecting an Ash. And as we expected, they Ash the Sacred Soul. And then we normal the upper cutter, then he uses the Infernoble on the upper, like he was really trying to cut us from full comboing, like from the early beginning. He didn't want to wake any choke point, mainly because he had no idea about our deck. But we still have a lot of gas, so we just FTK the guy here. We still get access to the other boxer, and we're doing it like this, so we can even bait a 3rd hand trap. Because he shotgunned so early, I was expecting more hand traps, so I was hoping like another hand trap on Banshee. And then we had the Witch to recover, but then no more hand traps, which means we can actually make the early Appaloosa in this line. So at some point here, I think it's when he saw the Appaloosa, he just scooped, because we had like full combo under the Appaloosa, you know. There's not much he could have done here. Yeah, so he doesn't even know how our end board is gonna look like. The guy just scooped. So then we go into the game 3. Okay, so we are here in game 3. This was the most important game of all these game 1 and 2. It was more back and forth, but at first glance the hand looks amazing, you know, double hand trap and engine, like you cannot ask for much more. So he goes swap. You could Veiler that if you want, but I'm choosing to let it go because there is still a lot of moments for Veiler, and the roll is gonna get more effective the earlier he searches. At least that's my thought process. So we roll here, and it is kind of painful. So now the guy doesn't get to full combo, but he's gonna use talents to look at hand, and he's ripping our second hand trap. Yeah, and also he knows our engine, so that's pretty bad, I guess. But what else can he do? He's gonna just extend, and just of that he can accomplish a lot because of the sprint that bypass the roll. Like he can still spam bodies, and now the sprint can be an interruption because he's gonna have the gigantic with material. So this is not huge, but man, his engine is nice. Like he's getting a bounce and a negate under the roll, but that's not it. At the end phase he summoned the carry, which means a Herald of Arley. So we are facing at least 3 interruptions here, and he has 2 unknowns in hand. So this is already an awkward, hard scenario for us. We need a good top deck, and man, with top deck, second copy of Heritage. Wow, and remember we are really low on Infernoble engine. Remember we are only on 2 museums, only 2 equips, but this type of hand can still happen. And Infernoble engine in seconds sometimes is not the best. Of course we can try to utilize it to its fullest, but we would much rather we'd rather have a combination of engines in this type of scenarios. So it's kind of hard what to do. Like I'm thinking that I should start with Heritage because he has no clue that we have 2 copies of Heritage. So he might let it go. He might even let go my Durandal. I'm talking about his spell negate, just because he could be afraid of my top deck. And I mean that's what I would do probably if I have the means. So at this point, we decided to start with Aurora. Heritage could be Durandal. Like there is some merit to Durandal because later on Durandal could be hard to use if he has a way to clear our bodies, like an SPU for example. But in this moment, I don't think he has that, so I'd rather Heritage for one simple reason. Maybe he has Droll. That's my whole argument here. And the guy had Droll. Yeah, and under Droll, between these two, like Durandal is a Monster Reborn and Heritage is a Recover, and I value more the Monster Reborn. Okay, so I mean, why Ogier if you already have Maugis and usually you want to normal summon your bad normal summon? That's true, but in this game set it was so hard that we were really hoping to set up the Maugis draw and draw into something good. And for me that was a better way to increase our chance of winning. So Ogier maybe milling Ricardero, banish Ricardero, summon Maugis, and maybe Durandal into an extender. We could have set up like a link to play, because he doesn't have a fire right now, but he could have dark or fire depending on what we kill in battle phase. So I was seeing some lines, but Droll has a lot of my possibilities. Right now, we only have really one choice, and that's to just save the special summon because we don't want to get bounced, so we have to kill Sprint right now. And then after the killing the Sprint, all we can really do, like, I mean, you could go into a link too, but there is no point. You are not doing a lot. So for me, the best play was just Guska and survive, because I know he cannot buy Guska easily with SP, but that's gonna mean he won't win. So we are gonna put Durandal, and I know he might get banished and then Durandal won't trigger, but at least I'm gonna set up the Maugis draw, which I think is more important. Like Durandal in hand in the comeback, I don't think it's gonna be as important, and maybe a good top deck, you know? Maybe we could even get a hand drop, who knows? Yeah, but the guy, yeah, he's gonna win because all he needs to do is SP, but I think he uses the other body. Yeah, he normals something that goes into defense, no effect. And now we trigger try to get a good draw, but I think we only draw something like, yeah, engine, not hand drops. And then the guy set up a big board, and it's GG. Like at this point, he has like 6 interruptions. Yeah, and then we top deck engine, which I'm not 100% sure if it was all yet. That's the one card that I'm doubting, but I don't think it matters, because as you're gonna see, there's not much we can do. He knows about, I mean, he doesn't know the hand, but he has a possible Omni negate, spell negate, monster negate, SP banish, double cross take. So yeah, like we try our best. The guy holds his negates, probably because he wants us to commit a summon so he can turn this into a negate, but it's not enough. Like our engine is getting better when we get the other pieces, remember? Like the One-Net, the Rasen, but now unfortunately he has too much. It would have been amazing if we managed to resolve Rasen here and kill both, but of course he can prevent it in multiple ways. So yeah, he's just gonna use that, and then negate, and now we only have one card in hand. And then the guy has the Herald at this point. like Pantera is putting the work here, because Pantera means that we can threaten the Herald. Yeah, and so he's basically forced to use Herald here to prevent the Pantera battlefield skill. But then he still has the SP, and we have a dead card. It would have been amazing if we managed to pitch the Ogre. But I mean, yeah, we did the best we could. Congrats to him for winning the entire event. But that's it. Now, as a bonus, the last match that I had in the event before I dropped is gonna be this one. Wait a second. Okay, here we are. Why am I showing 2 replays in one video? Because this is super fast. This was my fastest match of all. We are facing Snake Eye that only has Veiler and then 4 unknowns. I'm just letting you know that, and then just fast forward, because with a hand like this, of course, we are beating Veiler. You could choose to put an early Gearfried to protect you, or an early Pelusa. In this case, I am choosing the early Gearfried, but I'm going in a risky way, because Gearfried, I'm not doing the standard Gearfried as the second or third summon. Gearfried is actually the 5th summon here, so we could get deep, but we have the plan B. So I just did it like this, so we can make a bigger end board. Yeah, and then he Veilers. We let it go, so we can actually like still utilize the Ogre Museum and get more stuff. Yeah, and then it is GG at this point. The guy auto scoops before he makes any play, so we have to blindside in this instance, because yeah, we are putting the double link 1 Gearfried SP, which is like 5 interruptions, and then the Promethean in graveyard 6 interruptions. So I think that's just too much for him. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. He scoops. So now we are going into game number 2. Okay, so in case you didn't know, in blindside scenarios, I was only putting in my deck the 1 Talents and the 2 Storms, and I was taking out the 3 going first cards, which are the Boxers and Poplar. So because I had no idea he was on Snake Eye. Okay, and also this was the quickest game of all, because he tries to combo, and we said no, Mourner first, and then we save the Imper for a normal summon, but also works on Ash here. He sets 1 pass, we start with the Storm, and he scoops, because that was his only line of defense. He didn't even wait for us to show engine, he just scooped. But we did have engine, as you can see, this was the exact hand, so we were pushing by far. We were making even the early Pelusa play. So hope you like this. This is the ending of my whole event. I liked it a lot, as I told you at the very beginning in my deck profile. I want you to still believe in the deck, because as you can see, it can do amazing stuff. I'm not saying I'm the perfect pilot, because as you saw, I didn't play perfectly, but the better you get at the deck, the better you get rewarded. That's what I take away from this experience. And of course, post info, the deck just gets better with the the Finsmith's card. You should run it in Infernoble. That's my tip. I won't tell you exactly how just yet. Of course, if you want to know how, I already left a lot of theories and combos and samples of deck lists and whatnot, but that's for coaching. Okay, so take care, and hope you enjoy all this journey alongside me, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.